Shelter is a human right, yet the number of people living unsheltered in Portland, Bangor, Lewiston, Belfast, and throughout the state of Maine has surged. We have a homelessness crisis in our state, and despite heroic efforts, the available shelters simply cannot meet the need, leaving many people living outside, in doorways, under bridges, and scattered throughout parks. At Preble Street, we see firsthand the devastating physical and mental toll of homelessness, and we're doing all we can to help our neighbors in need. We're doing so with housing placements, case management, health and recuperative care services, housing first apartments, education and employment programs, street outreach, and of course, emergency food services. But what so many of our neighbors need is shelter. Shelter that is more than just a place to be out of the elements. Our community needs a place where people can get off the street, stabilize, and focus on healing and restoration. So welcome to Elena's Way, a Preble Street Wellness Shelter. Elena's Way is a critical part of the solution to homelessness. Here, we'll provide warmth, safety, and intensive services to 40 people of all genders experiencing homelessness and complex health and behavioral issues who are unable to access any other shelter. The idea for this new shelter model, what we're calling wellness shelters, came from our experience operating the very successful 24-hour shelter at the University of Southern Maine Sullivan Gym in the spring and summer of 2020, which we opened in just a few days at the urgent request of the governor's office and as an integral part of the community health and safety response to the pandemic. Guests at this new shelter didn't have to wait outside for entry at night or leave in the morning. They didn't have to carry their belongings from place to place throughout the city. They were no longer forced to sleep at one place, eat at another, talk to a social worker somewhere else, and meet with a healthcare professional at yet another location. Staffed by Preble Street social work professionals with services and meals on site, this new kind of shelter offered an opportunity for healing and a chance for individuals to work towards their goal of housing, healthcare, and employment. And it worked. It was just astonishing how much the wellness shelter did for the health, well-being, and morale of guests, many of whom had been on the streets for years or were restricted from other shelters. One client, Charlie, started working again, and he began saving for more permanent housing. Another client, Terry, created beautiful pieces of art to decorate the shelter. Darlene began working towards her GED. Whenever I walked into that shelter, I could feel a palpable sense of hope and optimism unlike any other shelter I've been in over the course of more than 30 years working with people experiencing homelessness. And that's what's led us to Elena's Way, a shelter staffed by trained social workers and staff where people are treated with respect and dignity and offered the space and peace they need to begin rebuilding their lives. This is all made possible by the support of many people who really understand that shelter is more than just a place to be out of the elements. Thanks to the generous donors of the Campaign for Preble Street, the support of Maine Housing and the Department of Health and Human Services, and many others, Elena's Way is a place where people can get off the street, stabilize, and focus on healing and restoration. Wellness shelters are the way forward.
This new 24-hour wellness shelter provides a therapeutic environment for people to heal, rest, and stabilize as they connect with trained social work staff to pursue goals related to housing, healthcare, employment, and feeling part of the greater community. Created in consultation with medical experts, the design maximizes personal space, providing a sense of calm and quiet that is not found in traditional shelter settings. This spaciousness not only reduces the spread of contagious diseases like COVID-19, but also positively impacts emotional health. Professional casework, laundry, storage, and mail are all offered on site. Nutritious meals will be created at our food security hub and served 3 times daily. This design promotes opportunities for rest and healing among people who are significantly more prone to physical and mental health conditions, preventing the need to travel from place to place to get services. People experiencing homelessness often feel they have no choice or control in their lives. True to our mission, Elena's Way will empower clients to be the decision makers about how to best meet their own needs. Unlike traditional shelter environments, guests have access to their beds at all hours of the day, allowing them to rest whenever needed. Similarly, selections of nourishing food are always available, promoting choice and minimizing the need for lines or crowding. Preble Street social work staff provide client-centered, trauma-informed care as they work alongside clients staying at Elena's Way. The foundation of this work is to build relationships, and the goal is to provide purposeful human connection. This allows for safety and trust, providing individuals the opportunity to achieve stability. Most importantly, the Elena's Way Wellness Shelter gives some of our most vulnerable neighbors hope for the future.
Preble Street has a long and really wonderful tradition of naming buildings after important people in our history. Social workers, activists, and all-around cool people. People like Bruce Logan, Florence Young, Steve Houston, and of course Joe Chrysler. So as we thought about a name for the new wellness shelter and again looked for somebody instrumental in our history, somebody who represents warmth, compassion, and healing, one person kept coming to mind: Elena Schmidt. Without Elena, Preble Street would not be the organization we are today. Her wisdom, open heart, and values-based skills have helped Preble Street grow and expand our services to reach more and more people. In her 20 years here, Elena served as the very first development director, the first HR director. She ran our food programs and is now the agency archivist. She's been instrumental in growing this agency through her fundraising efforts, commitment to our mission, and her tireless devotion to helping people who need it the most. Elena embodies so much of what Preble Street is today and represents the warmth, healing, and love that we know will be experienced within these walls. There is a lot of history and love within these walls. For 27 years, this building served as the Preble Street Resource Center, where thousands and thousands of people found support and a hand up when they needed it most. And now at this new wellness shelter, people will continue to find opportunity and hope here at Elena's Way.